Uh, all right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Live 365 here with Bubba Hogan today. But before we get going, I wanted to let you guys know this is a day. Normally, I would start a new 10-day series, and I guess I'm going to do that. However, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to bring some people on, have some fun. And I tracked Bubba down in Butte, Montana this morning. And said, hey, I'm switching things up. Can you come on? We're going to have some conversations, talk with people. Good morning, Dad. How are you? Got your buddy Bubba on here. But as we get going, guys, if you're new here and just tuning in, I'm Bob Turner. My friend here, Bubba Hogan, is with me today. This is another episode of what I call Live 365, where for the last 371 or so days, I've gone live just for the purpose of helping people get better at business and life, and talking about accountability and leadership and, business, and just creating the life that you want. Okay. And, but over the next 10 days, I'm going to introduce some people to you that have helped shape my life, or that have impacted me in some way, or I just think they're a pretty cool dude or dudette, whatever. Maybe they've had some impact on the way I think. Okay. So that, my hope is that every one of these conversations leaves you maybe with an idea or even a lesson, a one challenge that helps you shape your own edge, to help you find your edge. Good morning, Josh Baker. Ben Bryant is in. Good to see you guys. Here comes Rachel Berlin. So today I'm bringing on someone that I've learned a tremendous amount from, my friend Bubba Hogan. So good morning, Bubba. Welcome to the Live 365.
Good morning. Even earlier morning here where I'm at. So
that's right. Yeah. And guys, this just came together a little while ago. I was actually driving over here today and say, I'm going to mix it up this week or this 10 days. And, I usually will pick something that I think I'm hearing a theme either with my coaching clients or people asking questions, and I'll hammer on that for 10 days. But I try to follow my gut on this kind of thing. And I'm like, I just think we need to spice it up a little bit. Change things around a little bit, get some people on here and have some conversations. Good morning, Justin, Katie, and Andrea Gooch. Good to see you all. Ben, you never know. But good morning. Hey, Bubba, welcome. Glad you're here. We met, I was thinking back, we met through the contractor world several years ago. I think it was 2021 contractor fight event. We've had a bunch of opportunities to speak together since then. Did my first sales role play call with you. I always tell that story where we just, after we got done, and he said, man, that was terrible. And, we both had a good laugh. And then I went on to do, I don't know, 500 or 800 of them or something like that over the next 3 or 4 years, and got a lot better at sales. I don't think we've ever had a conversation where we haven't challenged one another in an open, friendly sort of way to help each other get better. Bubba's one of those guys that tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So today I wanted to just kind of introduce you guys to the man behind the chat, so to speak. He's one of the more active people. He's kind of a disruptor in the chat, and takes great pride in either making me blush or throwing me offline or whatever. And there's been a few times where it wasn't really funny, but you know what? After we kind of laugh about it, we'll talk about the Baxter State Park ordeal sometime. But, Bubba, I want people to know you before they know your business. So take a minute, tell everybody who Bubba Hogan is.
Bubba Hogan, he's the husband of Amy, father of 5, retired deputy sheriff, and loves life and fun.
Yeah.
You can't have fun. What's the purpose of doing it?
Yeah, that's cool. Interesting. You heard it, Bubba introduce himself. Never mentioned a thing about business, right? So that's cool. That's interesting observation. But I mean, what would people be surprised to learn about you? Keep it clean.
Normally, I guess probably that I have about 5 businesses. With the traveling that I do, some people scratch their head and ask, what do I do? But I mean, when you get the systems in place, and see, which a lot of that came as surprise and accident. I always traveled and did a little bit, but then when I had an injury a couple of years ago and I was kind of forced out, made me open my eyes and say, hey, they can do this.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Guys, you'll notice a theme here. I'm just going to fire some questions at Bubba, and all with the goal of maybe you guys picking something up that worked for him or didn't work, and save you a little bit of time on your journey in life or business. Talk about failures for a second. What failures? Think of a failure maybe that was a blessing.
I don't know. It's just been recorded. Come back. A lot of things. It gets kind of started back in college. Even I'd always gone to a small private school. Baseball was my love. Well, I
Yep.
played summer league ball, and I finally convinced my parents to get to go to high school that had a baseball team. Transfer over halfway through my junior year. So I got transferred over. We ended up going to the state playoffs junior year, and then playing for the North Half State Championship, I guess, my senior year. But all-star, all everything. But then I didn't get picked up by college.
Mm.
So then went to try to walk on. Me and the coach didn't exactly get along. He was going to try to redshirt me. My pride got in front of me. I gave it up, and I walked on and played football for a couple of years until I turned 21 to go to the police academy. So that's kind of where it started. Looking back, it's kind of one of those thank you, I owe you.
Yeah.
Made me
Yep.
sit there and realize then, but also made me don't give up, because I think I gave up 3 feet from gold.
Yeah.
So I could have gone on, transferred somewhere else. I didn't have to stay where I was at, But
Yeah, it's
or I
funny,
could have
like-
stuck it out instead of wanting to play right then. I could have set out a year and probably been playing the following year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you look back and you go, what if I did this? What if I did? When you look back at that, when you're younger, what did younger Bubba get wrong about success? Well, when you look back at what your mindset was back then, what was what's different now when you think about what success really is?
a lot of it's probably chasing money, I guess, as the younger years. Back when the kids were young, I didn't have the established thing. It's like I didn't realize how quick they were going to grow.
Yeah.
So when they're young and you're sitting there working, you realize all of a sudden you open your eyes, they're going to be growing pretty quick. You can make money later.
Right.
Spend time with the kids. I mean, yeah, you got to make a living, but if it's going to require everything and missing every ball game, you may miss one or two here and there, or miss one or two events, but the more things that you can be at, they're going to remember that when they're older.
No,
And then
yeah,
you can
for
sit
sure.
there when you're on your own and they're all grown like they are now. Now I can go out and go make the money I need to, or do the things I want to do.
Yeah, good perspective. If you had the opportunity to sit down with your 25-year-old self, think about where you were at when you were 25. What advice would you give to your 25-year-old self, 25-year-old Bubba?
Go find you a mentor, somebody that's done what it is that you dream and think you want to go do. Follow them around and spend as much time with them as you can.
Yeah.
And get the coaching that you need.
Yeah, for sure.
Or think you don't need.
Yeah. Hey, Bo McDonald just jumped on, said he loves that quote. You can make money later. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I had somebody tell me one time, that's the kids playing in the front yard. He had a lush green yard, and he's all upset the kids are out there playing in it, all the neighborhood kids. And his wife told him, Tom, we can grow grass another day. We're growing kids right now. So sure enough, the grass will grow later when the kids are all grown.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's talk about business a little bit. I think that, people see a successful business and they just assume that, it always looked that way. Right. But there were some hard years, right? Things that nearly broke you. Take a minute and talk about that. Like, it hasn't all been, toes in the sand for you.
Oh, no. There was brink of bankruptcy even back 20 some odd years ago. There was things I had no idea what to do about business, not to get the down payment checks, sit there and, wait and trust people instead of actually having a written agreement. It's amazing how some folks that you think you trust and you do, and then things turn a little bit because you didn't have it in writing, what their perception of what was said and your perception were different. But when it's in writing, it's black and white.
Takes care of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever think about quitting?
Many times. Well, certain things. Never quitting on myself though. It's like, I'll quit, but I'll do it tomorrow. Used to be my mantra every day. I may quit, but it's going to be tomorrow if I quit.
Right. Always quit tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, and I know the last several years, I think, is probably the answer to this question, but I'll let you answer it because I know you have more insight. Like, when did you realize your business was like finally becoming a real company instead of just you out there working really hard?
Probably when COVID hit, I guess. I mean, I was
Yeah,
still deputy sheriff, school resource officer, and then COVID took shape, and then it's like we started getting slammed, and then it kind of felt like, stepping over dollars to pick up pennies hanging around when I had my time to retire. So
yep,
went ahead and retired. But then shortly after that, all of a sudden, life is a funny way of, doing things. You think you're going to do all these things, and then out of nowhere, my back goes out, laid up for over 6 months, not able to do anything with the business.
right,
So
yeah. And I mean, it must have taken a pretty big mindset shift for you to be like, all right, we got to do the kind of the who not how thing right now because you were kind of forced into that, right?
yeah, I mean, I had a lot of the who's at the time. Some of it I didn't have the full trust, or I guess I didn't turn it completely over to them yet, or letting them run it like they should have. But then it got to that point where it was kind of mandatory. I had to. It's like, don't call me. Going into surgery, I'm not going to be able to answer the questions that you need me to answer, or things like that. Y'all have to run the show. You are
Yeah,
capable of it. So go do it.
yeah. Oh, that's cool, and they did. So now you're coaching, doing some coaching, and finally
Yeah.
decided. You and I have a lot of conversations about this, and it was kind of me, at times say, "Hey, when are you gonna do the podcast? When are you gonna do some coaching? When are you gonna do the mentoring?" So you've started doing that. So congrats! It's been fun to watch. You're going ham on social and doing the thing and planning an event. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, I wanted to talk about sales because, of course, you and I both coach, so we're supposed to hate each other, right? But I come and I do a lot of, mental toughness, accountability, motivation, inspirational stuff, but also, with what I've learned in contracting and endurance sport over the years. And you're over here helping people in sales too, and doing some sales training and some things in your group. Um, and I know you've coached a bunch of contractors well before you were even getting paid for it. Okay. So let me ask you a couple sales questions. What would you say separates the average salesperson from the elite salespeople?
Listening skills.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen to what it is that they're asking for.
Right.
What's the true motive behind why they're calling you? People don't pick up the phone just to call and ask questions or ask pricing. They're calling because they need something.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's hard when you see them make mistakes too. But and I did that. When I was selling, I hadn't really had any sales training, and when I finally got some, I'm like, "Whoa, this is kind of fun. We can kind of gamify this a little bit, right?" What mistakes do you hear over and over from people that are kind of just learning sales or not taking the time to learn anything?
Oh, a lot of it is, oh, they're not really interested or they can't afford this.
Yeah,
True, they may not be able to today, but that's the problem I found with a lot of people is they have no follow-up system either. That somebody calls, they throw a price real quick, get off the phone with them, and then you're whining and crying that you don't have any work or you have nothing going on. It's like, when's the last time you followed up with this person? When's the last time you just
yeah.
called, check it in with an old client? Not trying to sell, but just staying in front of them, stay in front of mine.
Yeah, I mean, you walk the walk too. I wasn't that long ago. I think it was earlier this year. You just decided that you between you and the guys were going to make about 2,000 phone calls or touches, right? Tell me about that.
Well, that was back in January. We had a
Okay.
ice, snow, pretty much off work, nothing, not able to do anything for like over 2 weeks. So the guys were like, I was like, y'all want to work? Let's work. Get on the phones. We're going through our whole customer database and start calling people, texting people, emailing, but phone calls is the most important. We're going to go down the list and make a phone conversation, contact with everybody. Just check it, just calling, reintroducing ourselves if we hadn't talked in a while,
Yeah.
or let's go ahead and get on the schedule and get booked up this year. Why now? Why wait?
Just out of curiosity, what kind of revenue do you feel like that created?
We booked up a good bit of the summer. It was over 200,000 that we could contribute just to that. Just during the week of the being iced in, guys just sitting in the office every day.
So not a huge expense to doing it other than their time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to pay them anyway. We were back there training in the back, so we'd do a little bit
Yeah.
of training, and then 2 or 3 of the guys, we'd get in there and start making phone calls.
That's awesome. Yeah. It takes confidence to do that too. Like, how much of sales do you feel like is confidence?
It's a mindset. I mean, you got to be confident when you're talking to people. So, and you got to be confident, you're the expert and you're able to help them. They're calling you because they've got a problem, and it's like Dear Abby, you're giving your advice, but
Right.
you're waiting to listen to what it is. Your advice may be different than what you actually thought you were going to give them to begin with. It may be you need to call this contractor down here down the road. He does a better job of taking care of what you're needing.
Yeah. Shoot, I had a question on the tip of my tongue. Oh, it was about pricing. Like, we talk a lot about pricing and getting your margin and making sure that you're charging enough to be in business in nothing about 5 years, but even next year, right?
Yeah.
So what do most business owners, I won't say contractors, what do most business owners misunderstand about pricing?
It's not the same for everyone. It's not a car.
Okay.
I mean, what kind of value? Basically, what value are you giving? It's like me calling you up. Hey, Bob, what are you charging for this? Is it the same thing? I mean, am I giving the same exact value? Am I doing the same exact thing you're doing? No, probably not. Same in sales. Am I providing more value? If so, this is the price I'm giving for the value. It shouldn't matter to me what you're charging. If you've got a company you're running with 15 guys and I've got 1 guy, I work out of my garage. You got a building that you got rent, overhead, and everything else on. You ought to be charging a little more until you get to that point where you got so many guys going out that, I mean, there's a couple different things you take into account later on, but when you got 1 or 2 guys, if you got a building to rent, different things like that, it may be close, but it's probably not going to be the same exact numbers. And that's the problem I think a lot of guys run into is they want to find out what the other guy, and they're worried the other guy in town's charging the same amount as they are, and they're going to lose a job over price. And it's not about price.
Right. Hey, pull the curtain back here a little bit. What's your go-to? What's the best, I know you have word tracks and scripts, but what's a line or a word track, if you will, that always works? Like, what's your go-to? What is something you say in most every sales interaction that you have?
At what point?
I don't know. You'll call. I mean, I know you say hello and all that, but
after we found out the motive, established it, and we talked and given ballpark pricing, and they're like, oh yeah, that's cool. 40,000 for a pond, great. And it's kind of like, what should we do next? And they're like, well, you need to come out. Awesome. What kind of paperwork do I need to bring with me when I come out?
That's the one. Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of one of my favorites in all time. I mean, before I'm coming out to your house, you need to tell me what kind of paperwork I need to bring with me.
Yeah. Are we moving forward here? Or hey, I floated out 40K. You've invited me out. Hey, let's say if we walk around the backyard and it, still shakes out at 40K, are we going to be moving forward?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
And the other, is it's either the agreement, which we're going to go out, go over everything, sit down at the table, write it up, get them on the schedule, get a deposit. And then the other, of course, is the proposal. Basically, it's the same thing. We go out, we do all the ins and outs, my 2-minute elevator speech to them, basically. And we'll spend anywhere from 1 hour to 3 hours, however long we need to spend to make sure you've got all the information you need to make that educated buying decision, whether it be from Mid-South Ponds, Memphis Water Garden, Carter Nursery, Moeller Landscape, whoever. I give them everybody my competitors because there's this crazy thing called Google. They can find your competitor anyway. You might as well be the guy that gives them their phone number and their name.
Right.
So, I mean, that's the way I look at it. I give them that information. I tell them, hey, I'm going to give you all that information you need to make that educated buying decision. That sounds a lot like consulting, doesn't it, Bob?
It does.
Consultants can get expensive.
I love it.
and if we've just been talking about a $40,000 project, I mean, I'll just tell people now, my basically consult nowadays is 10%. We charge $4,000 for that, Bob.
You're making me nervous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It sounds like you want to do the pond. I mean, if that's the case, we don't really worry about a consultation, but I just didn't want people, a lot of people don't like surprises other than, Christmas and birthdays.
Yeah, I love it.
That's kind of my favorite. It's kind of one of those you kind of gamify it. Plus, you separate those that are serious and those that are tire kickers.
I got a question coming in. Rachel says, ask, what do you do after the paperwork is signed and before the work is started?
We follow up and stay in contact with the client. If it's a couple, I mean, I just had one the other day that it's one of those, like I said, you don't give up because the first call, literally since November of last year, we've been back and forth texting. He went out to his house. He paid the consult and things like that. And then kind of like he wasn't interested or something, but he was in the middle of a job transition. Well, I didn't give up. I still sent him a text. We'd be on a big job comparable to his. I'd send him a picture of it. Hey, Scott, this is a lot like what me and you were talking about. Just wanted to keep you updated on something new. Last week, he called me and said, Bubba, what do I need to do to get on the schedule next May?
Yeah.
And he was like, what kind of deposit do I need to put? I was like, $1,000 will get you secured for that week, that we need to do. And when it gets closer to time, we'll do the other deposits. So non-refundable. I thought once again, he'd sit there and not do it. I sent the link over and it was paid within 30 minutes. So, I mean, you don't give up on people. They buy when it's their timing.
Right.
So, right. I mean, the paperwork, basically we do that. Even when we sign the paperwork, it's one of those, now Scott gets emails and we do jobs. It's like, hey, it's going to look like World War III in your backyard. This is what you can expect. Now check this out a week later. You're not going to know the same backyard. Hey, check out these guys. This is my new, this is a new foreman coming out. This is a new employee. We do job things. Just send pictures here and there. I mean, just stay in contact with people. Don't take their money and all of a sudden they think now he's disappeared.
Right. I think you just answered Rachel's next question. Was, do you have an automated system or is it personalized by
both.
Staff? Yeah.
It's both. Okay. It's automated. They'll get emails, they'll get texts, but then it's also Bubba's going to pick up the phone and even make a phone call here and there on Thursday afternoon, Friday, or my guys in the office, things like that. Hey, we hadn't forgotten about you, and they'll be like, some people get tired of us, quit calling us or quit texting right now until you get out here. But, this right now, we just finished this one, still got 3 people ahead of you. We're moving a little faster than we thought, things may happen, or, hey, we just got knocked back 4 days on this job here. It's going to set things, hopefully we're going to get caught back up, but just want to keep you updated.
Yeah, that's cool. Good morning, Dave Howard. Welcome in. Sherry Turner is here. Bubba's talking sales. Let's switch up to leadership a little bit. I knew I told Justin on fire some stuff actually this morning. Like, what makes and from a leadership standpoint, what makes someone worth following?
I guess somebody worth leading. You got to be somebody that's a leader in order for somebody to follow. People want to be led.
Yeah,
that's just plain and simple. They may not say it, but they want to. And the thing is I think I had a quote one time. If you go for a hike, if you're a leader and you're going for a hike at the top of the mountain, basically that's it. You're just going for a hike. You turn around, nobody's with you. You're on a hike. You're not leading.
Yeah, I like that. Rachel said, thanks. A huge opportunity to keep trust high with customers in that quiet time. Andrea asked, what CRM do you use?
Go high level now. But at the same time, what's the best CRM is the one that you're going to use.
Right.
Whether it be less annoying, whether it be, HubSpot, I mean, all these others, everybody's got all these technical things. It's what are you willing to use and sit down and use all the time is the best one for you.
Yeah. What's a leadership lesson that took you too long to learn?
Don't be scared that the ones that you're leading and training are going to be better than you. You want them to be better than you and to be able to take over. If you're not mentoring and training someone with you, who's going to take over or do something when you're gone? Everything rises and falls on leadership.
Yeah. I know you're a guy who doesn't mind having a hard conversation. When you have to have a hard conversation, either with a customer or with an employee, whomever, what's your approach?
Sometimes it's, come on in the office, shut the door. Hey, we do a lot of joking, but, this is serious. So sometimes you got to let them know, hey, I'm not joking right now. Sometimes I do too much joking with people, and I've tried to cut that out with a lot of the employees now. So when it comes time that you have to be serious, that it's not they think I'm in there kidding with them again about something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It's time. There's a time and a place for everything, right?
Yeah, and I've learned that over time too. It's one of those, as the business owner, it's kind of separate more. I'm not really your friend. I'm your boss. I'm the supervisor here and there. I don't mind being nice and we'll be friendly, but we can't. Not exactly looking to be best buds out here with you, because there's going to come a time you're probably going to have to be terminated if you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And
Right.
then it gets a little harder and a little awkward then.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, let's talk. I mean, I talk a lot about accountability, and we talk accountability in my Edge Live community, which you're a part of, and I appreciate your presence in there. What role has accountability played in your own life? I mean, I see you at the gym, I see you doing your things. Talk to me about accountability in your life a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't, first of all, you got to be accountable to yourself. If not, you're lying to yourself. But I mean, accountability is one of those things, whether it be a gym, you sign up for a membership, whatever. If you have a trainer, you're even better because you can roll out of bed and say, I don't want to go to the gym today. But if you know your trainer's there waiting because you're paying him, it's kind of like
Right.
a coach. If you've hired a business coach or a coaching sales coach, whatever the coach is, whatever it is in life, you've hired somebody, they're sitting there going to be waiting for you and hold you accountable.
Yeah.
If they're doing what they're supposed to do, they're going to call you out on it. They're not just taking your money. If they're just taking your money and not calling you out on it, you need to go ahead and fire them anyway and go somewhere else.
Right. Who calls you out?
You do a lot. Say that, and I mean,
I'll give you a hard time.
Amy will flat out. My wife, she'll call me out. She'll say,
Yep.
"You say this, but this isn't what you're doing." So I mean, sometimes I get called out on things.
Yeah. You got to have that, right? You got to have that. I think we do that for one another. So I appreciate you.
It's a hard love, So
Oh yeah. Yep. Exactly. You mentioned coaching, and we've talked about that several times, that some people resist it. Why do you think some business owners resist coaching?
some of us that they don't want to look like they didn't know what they were doing. I think.
Right.
That was me kind of, I don't want to look like I didn't have any idea what I was doing when I was doing stuff and didn't want to look dumb. Somebody else is showing you.
Yeah.
So
you don't want
it's
to
one of
admit
those-
you don't know everything.
Yeah. Plus, it's one of those. It's kind of like back to sports. You learn how to hit. You do that. You do all right, and then all of a sudden you got a new coach trying to show you one or two things just to help you a little bit, and it's hard to do even when you've been doing something so many times over and over. It becomes muscle memory, and it's like breaking that habit.
Right.
It's hard to do, and it's like you may know you need to do it, but sometimes you just flat out don't want to because this is your old way of doing it. It's a lot easier to go to the part that is not as comfortable and much fun. You just soon do that as it is that you're going to get results from it.
Yeah. What and I can ask this for you. Like, what? My question is, what finally convinces someone to invest in themselves? Said differently, like, what turned the tables for you and you said, I got to get some coaching?
I think the pain of staying the same became greater than the pain of unknown.
Yeah. Doing something about it, right? They were just not having the same year after year, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those, it's kind of like, it's time to either prove you're right or prove you're wrong.
Yeah.
What I'm doing now is not changing anything. So what's it going to hurt for me to do the same thing? It's probably not going to hurt me anymore. I'm going to do what you're trying to coach me or tell me to do. So, and if I can get something from it, then great. Now I can prove you're right or I can sit there and say you were wrong. I just wasted another year and I could have just stayed the same and saved my money too. But
you're one of the people that we've both spent a great deal of money on personal and business development over the past several years. Do you feel like you've made the money back?
Everything. I mean, whether it be even at the event, conference, coaching, whatever, always go looking for something or whatever nugget. It could be something that I know I'm absolutely not going to use and it was worth that. But I mean, there's been events too that I can go into and get something the first 15 minutes and I can get up and leave that it was worth it.
Right. Yeah. You're like, if I left
$1,000.
now.
Yeah. I mean, you can be standing in line to check in and talk to somebody that's standing in line right there and get value of something that's going to really make the difference and be return on investment. You never would have met that person standing there.
Right. I remember the first thing I went to was I went to like a solid surface convention thing. It was part of the AIA Architectural Institute. And a guy, older fellow, was sitting across the table from me and he goes, he goes, I've been in business 40 years. He goes, I've never missed a conference or an industry conference because I just, no matter, even when I didn't have the money, I scraped the money together to go. It was that important. I was 19 or 20 at the time. And I don't know, I still remember him saying that, and, as I've gotten to go to some of this stuff, that popped back into my mind. I was like, okay, yeah. So guys, go to things. Bubba, speaking of things, Um, it's year 3 of the Mid-South Pond Retreat, we've called it. And now
Yeah.
you've got an event coming up called the Retreat to Attack. Talk
It's
to
been
me
called a
about your
few
event.
things, but yeah, it's kind of, started out as some pond guys getting together, and then we kind of changed it up a little bit, pond, but I had so many other contractors ask and business owners asking about it that, this time it's kind of, we got Pandemonium going on and some other pond events, and Atlantic has something right before us. So it's kind of, this is open for any kind of business owner, contractor, sales, anything. So this year it's Retreat to Attack. Let's get things in order. Sometimes you just need that getaway, but it's also the networking. Plus, we're going to have some coaching and speaking in there. So it's going to be able to help people out as do what they need what they're needing to get done. Because like I said, if you stay the same, you're doing the same thing next year as you're doing this year, what's going to change? What's going to be different?
Yeah. No, Wendy and I will be there. In fact, Wendy popped the link in. You might have to cut and paste on that because she's working from her phone today. But there's the link. And guys, if you want to join us, Bo, I know you were asking about it the other day. I had some people sign up over the weekend, right, Bubba?
Yeah, I had 3 I know of that contacted me directly. I hadn't even looked at the thing that yet this morning. I'm getting others here and there, but I had 3 that sent me messages that were talking about it and coming in.
If I didn't know anything about it and I asked you, what am I going to come away with? What would you say?
That could be an open-ended question right there. What are you hoping to come away with?
Hey, I got to get better at business.
Well, then that would be the place to go, and then you seek out those that are doing what you want to do or have the successful business, and then come in and get around them. Go grab a chair at the campfire, the bonfire at night. Go jump in the hot tub where they're sitting over there. That people are there to network and there to help.
Yeah.
I don't know what somebody might be going through. I mean, like I said, Saturday we had a little thing. I just reached out, started talking to people, and I didn't find out the hurting that some of my friends were going through because I didn't ask. So if you're at the event and you're hurting and you've got struggles, not everybody knows what all's going on. So, I mean, unless you're just broadcasting it for everybody to know, so you may have to go in and be vulnerable. You may have to say, hey, I struggle with this here. Could you help me or know somebody? And it may be that I may not know, but I may say, hold on just a minute. My friend over here, I know for a fact he went through this, and he's probably going to be the best person to help you out with this. And I'll be right there with you. And then call whoever over there to sit and talk. And next thing you know, they're able to help work them through it or, give them some pointers.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's going to be great. Not all classroom setting stuff though, right?
No, I've gotten away. A lot of times we get in there and sometimes we're just overloaded and people come in there with too much information. Yeah. You feel like you want to put as much information as you can on something to make it worthwhile right there. 3 days of sitting in a classroom all day long in a chair. It's like your mind just goes crazy. And then it's like, well, I didn't even really get to spend time with that person I really want to spend time with.
Right.
Or late at night, and you're so exhausted mentally by the day of sitting in the classroom training that you can't really enjoy late at night sitting around and where the networking and the action really takes place.
Yeah.
So this year we're going to have some morning sessions. We're going to have some working breakfast because we're set up at the cabins. So it's going to kind of be some theme cabins or topics that somebody's going to kind of lead at breakfast. We're going to have those discussions. Then we're going to go into having some morning, you got the movie rooms that are going to be set up more. I guess we're going to use some of those for some boot camp type room sessions here and there to work around. We might bring everybody together in a spot or two here and there for the larger get together things. Then early afternoon, we're going to either go do some hiking, walking around, or if you just want to relax, chillax there at the house. There's indoor pools, there's hot tubs, there's games, there's video games. I mean, just anything you want to do, sit around, lounge around, talk. We're going to do so that. Found a place that's got indoor snow tubing. So they got like 12 or 14 lanes that it's got a little escalator that takes you up. So you ain't even got to take steps. You get on the escalator with your tube, it rides you to the top. Then we all line up and we start racing down to the bottom. So it's a blast. We may do that and have a little competition, see who the snow tuber champion is.
That could be fun.
Maybe even an indoor snowball fight. There you go. Indoor snow. So,
well, guys, the timing's good. It's November 9th through the 12th, right? So before the holidays.
Monday through Thursday. Basically, we're going to get there around check-in noon or so Monday, and it's a Monday afternoon, evening, and all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, and then Thursday till about noon check out.
There you go. Perfect. Well, we're looking forward to it. Guys, this is going to sell out, and it's not unlimited, seats. Bubba, is how many tickets do you have left? I mean, if somebody wants to jump on this, right?
Yeah, we started out with 30 rooms. Somebody had to look at it. I know one cabin's completely sold out. Every cabin has got either a king bed with its own bathroom, and we got a couple of rooms that either have sets of bunk beds. There's 4 bunks in there that guys can share. Either women, guys, whoever it is, we'll match it up, fill up the rooms how we need to when it comes time on that. But they have their own bathroom, so it's one of those. It's kind of a private room, but then you got the living room and the kitchen, everything gathered. But we'll have somebody there doing the cooking or catering, however we come about doing that and decide on that. But all those type of things. But yeah, it definitely is going to sell out. Like I said, we're probably getting close to the second cabin being gone. I've looked to try to find a fourth cabin right there, just because I feel like it's probably going to sell out. We have 30 rooms total. So
Okay.
some of them, like I said, a couple of the rooms have 3 and 4 beds in it with the bunk beds. So it's basically, I think the occupancy, if we fill out every bed, I think right now I've got 62 spots. So like I said, I'm looking for a little more. I'd like to find one more cabin that we can max it to 80, because 80 people is kind of the right number. You get to know everybody, and you also get to know those that you don't really want to be around probably during those days. So you can go find somebody else. So it's that number. It's not too small of a number. You get stuck with somebody, you want to be stuck. Don't want to be stuck around either. So
Hey, we got a discount code too, right? Edge 550, I
Yes,
think
sir.
is the code, right?
Yeah, it's basically if you bring a guest, bring somebody with you in the king room, it's $5.50 for that additional person. So technically, you bring that person for free. Or if you want to stay in the room by yourself, hey, you get $5.50 off.
There you go. And Bubba, I've known you a long time, and I know that you've never let finances hold someone back. You figure it out. Like, so if someone wants to go, doesn't have the dough right now, but probably can put it all together by November, what would you say to them?
I've got a 4-pay, I think, set up on there now where you can pay monthly. And if that doesn't work for you and you still need something else worked out, give me a call.
Awesome. Dude, you're doing good things. Hey, little lightning round here at the end. Favorite book?
Finding Your Edge by Bob Turner.
I didn't pay for that. Come on now.
Nah,
All right. Second favorite.
It is a good book, but favorite book, man. I've read so many of them. That's another fun fact I guess you can find out about Bubba. Up until probably 4 years ago, I've probably only read 2 books cover to cover throughout life, throughout high school, college, everything, college degree, all that, and probably never actually finished maybe 2 books.
Right.
I'm one of those ADD squirrel out moments, but a lot of leadership, a lot of John Maxwell books. Science of Scaling here lately, some of those have been a good
Ben
one.
Hardy,
Yeah. Coach Burt has one called Screw Your Why that just come out a while ago, not long ago. It's like people, Simon Sinek did the book, Find Your Why. A lot of people found their why, but they're still roaming around doing the same thing that they did.
Right.
So it's not really about finding your why. It's like, you need to find your skill set and know what it is that you need to do.
Most influential mentor.
Yeah, then you can go take care of your why.
Yeah. Who's your most influential mentor?
I've picked up a few of them here. One of my all-time, in business-wise, the one that's actually got me going, Tim McCatrone is probably him and Derek Johnson are two of my first ones here in the business world when it started opening my eyes up.
Yeah. Tim will be at the event, right?
Tim will be at the event.
Yeah. Best purchase under $500.
Best purchase under 500.
Yeah.
Under 500. I'm trying to think. You got me on the spot here. It's going to be a tough
I told you I was coming.
I don't know. I may have to get back with you on that one.
Do you have a morning routine?
Do it.
Do you have a morning routine?
I do. Get up, start out with the gratitude list. I start out with a gratitude list right off the get-go in the mornings. At least 10 things that I'm grateful for.
Cool.
And stop and think about it as you say it. Not just write down the list, but when you say you're thankful for this, you stop and think about it and envision it for a minute. You think about your health, things like that, things that we take for granted, that I had for over the years. But it's also, I think I heard somebody say one time, it's hard to be mad and angry at things when you're grateful.
Yeah, true.
So if you're grateful for it, it's hard to be that. And it makes a world of difference in the day too, as the day goes by. If you're grateful for things, you stop, I heard somebody tell one time, you get mad that your ankle's hurting or your knees hurting, and all of a sudden you see the guy that doesn't have legs.
Yeah. True.
You put things in perspective pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. What's one thing people should stop doing immediately?
comparing yourself to others.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. What's the saying? Comparison's the thief of joy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're getting close to wrapping up. This is a long one. It was fun though. If you knew this was the last time people were going to hear from you, what's something that you'd want them to remember? Like, what's a message that you'd want to walk off stage with?
Remember, what would Bubba do? No, no. I was kind of more on it last year. I'm still on it, but be a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Do things that's going to cause a ripple effect down the road, not just the one time done. It's like be a living legacy. You always have people that go to a funeral and it's like the eulogy. It was like, oh, he was this, he was that. Why not be that person that people talk about now while you're still alive?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. What's your edge?
Sometimes I'm still trying to find it. I get close sometimes and think I'm there, but then it's like I guess I find that when you think you're right there, you look over and you see that next mountain that's got to be climbed.
Yeah.
You're never actually at the very top. And it's like one of those, once you do get to the top, there's plenty of room for everyone else. There's just not enough room for everybody to sit down. So you got to keep going.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I know that you're a gatherer of people. I know that you're hey, let's go do this. Let's get some people, involved and let's go do it. So I appreciate that in you. And you've always, if you see an opportunity for me, you've kind of shoved me in that direction. So I appreciate it. I thank you. I thank you for your friendship and your guidance and in your mentorship, in your honesty, all the time. And I can't wait to connect in November. Maybe we'll get together first. I think you're planning some sort of housewarming party here. Just let me know.
I'm working on a surprise housewarming up in the Maine.
Let me know how many tables I need. Oh shit. Thank you for pouring into so many people, including me. All kidding aside, I appreciate you. I know many do. And it's the reason that when I thought about this morning, it was like, oh, I'm going to get Bubba on here first. So Bubba, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. And I'm looking forward to taking both of our businesses to the next level over the next couple of years. And anybody I'd rather be banging around and doing it with. So guys, if you enjoyed this conversation, share it out. I appreciate it. Don't just consume it. Okay. Take one thing Bubba shared and actually put it into practice. Okay. Knowledge doesn't change your life. Execution does. Okay. I love you guys. I appreciate you. If this conversation encouraged you in some way, share it out. Send it to somebody. Take care of your people. Okay. Challenge somebody today. Encourage somebody today. And as always, go find your edge. Okay. Guys, I appreciate you. Bubba, thank you very much. Hang around a minute. I want to stay on and thank you. But thanks for coming on. I know you're in the middle of you're on a mission from God, doing a church mission. Little Blues Brothers reference there. What was that? We got a pack of cigarettes, new tires, custom. What is it? What was the motor? What was that line? 100 miles to Chicago. Hit it. I don't know what it was. I got to brush up on my lines. Bubba, thanks. Guys, go have yourself a great day. I appreciate you all. Take care.
Thanks.